Hi friends, here's my part 2 of my sharing with you the unique learning system, the curriculum that I use in my classroom, which is very scaffolded, as I've shown you before, and you know that. And but it's also scaffolded and very helpful to my ELL users, which is even better. So anyways, just a quick look through my May curriculum that we're done with, but still it's worth looking at. And here's why. I'm going to show you, I really liked, or something that we did. We looked at this article in my classroom one day, and it navigates. It has a cute little running man, and it gives me, the one good thing is, it tells me everything I need to do. And I'm clicking off to the side so you don't see it, but it's just helping me navigate to what I want to show you, which is the regular article that my kids can see. So I put this up on the whiteboard, and we read this together, and they especially like it when the computer reads it, because the computer always mispronounces it, and they think it's funny. So they're starting to listen for words that are mispronounced. And if you see, every word has a symbol underneath it. And the nice thing is it corresponds to their communication tool. So they're learning to read, they're learning words in English, and they have a scaffold it. So we go through the whole article. There's a few pages that we read together, and it's science and it's reading comprehension all in one, scaffolded nicely. When we get to the end, there's several sheets. And then once we finish it, this is the other thing too, communication board, that if I'm having my kids practice reading it, they simply point to the picture when they see the word in the article that we're reading. But let's go back home to where they have a list of all of the activities. Back to the list. We did the baby animals article, and then the cool thing is we have comprehension activities that have to do with everything that we're reading this month. Whoops. And I'm going to skip ahead. I'm clicking on the side here on the activity that I want to go to. So we completed this as a class. This is just a chart. So their job was to match the baby animal to the parent animal. And this is not rocket science. And in fact, all of my students were able to do this because they simply just had to match. And the best part is they know they're getting it right by the green, and they know the answer is wrong if they're doing this online or on their iPads. Gives them the red. So they signals. And so this is an example of some of the fun comprehension activities that we do to work on language development in our classroom. Now I want to go back to home, and it takes a second to load, and we'll go back through the lessons that I have. So we have the level books, which I showed you before, and then the other thing that we really like to work on is word wall activities. We'll give it a second to bring it up. And again, I'm clicking on to the side on a shortcut menu. So one of the things that we do is we look at these words, and every day we review a word that we've been working on all month. So by the end of the month, we have worked on about 4 to 6 words, and we say them over and over again every day. And I found that to be super helpful for my kids to be able to learn these high frequency words. That's when I did progress monitoring. They were all able to recognize and tell me those words because we spent so much time repeating them and just practicing. So the other thing that we spend a lot of time on is vocabulary. This vocabulary lesson. have a bingo game, which I want to show you. My kids, we play this every Wednesday. And the great thing is I could do 2 levels at a time. So some of my kids that are higher functioning get level 3 vocabulary bingo. That looks like this. And they can use the dots to mark it. So if we do it on their iPads, they just have to move it over to the spot. Level 1 and 2 vocabulary looks like this. Pictures, the word, and pictures. I love, love, love how everything is scaffolded. So there's the word and then a picture. A word, then a picture, because that's how kids learn language, is by associating with pictures. So that was another one of my favorite things about this program and what we do use a lot. There's a whole math section too. I'm not going to go into that because mostly we're trying to figure out about how we use language or ways to teach language. And then the final thing that we make sure we use every month is our high frequency spelling list. So all those word wall words that you saw, this is where they come from. I get a list like this every month. I get 3 lists. Every week I use a different list. And I pick a sight word that we have not worked on yet during the school year. And I have a running record of all the sight words that we've worked on. So I know we've already worked on the word not, and so we're not going to work on that again because when we did work on it, they all understood it. In the interest of time, I'm going to move through this fast because I'm sure you really want to sit and listen to me. The cool thing is we do letter tracing, where we usually print this out and they just trace the words because we've tried to do it with fingers and it doesn't work. We haven't been very successful that way. But my kids are all learning to type. So they learn to they have a list with the words on it. I'm guessing at the word, what that word was supposed to be, and they type in, so that's how we're learning to type, by finding the letters on the keyboard to spell this word. Here, I'll move up this one. So I know this word is am. A, and then they click over to the next one, they touch it with their fingers on their iPad, and am. And then they learn the keyboard, so we use that a lot. And then they have some really fun fill-in. We're going to do level 1 fill-in. Again, they have to find the word that fits, and elephants. Then they go through and they figure out which word it is. It happens to be ear in this case. Ta-ding! We get really excited. Everyone claps. A lot of times we do this together on the whiteboard so the kids can have fun. They love to drag things into the right spot. And then from there, they'll go and complete this on their own on their iPads. So anyways, those are some of my favorite things to promote English language use and learning with the curriculum that I use in my classroom. I'm not going to show you the journal pages because I've already bored you enough, but that's another great way to use for them to learn how to write sentences. So anyways, thanks for listening and humoring me as I talk about my curriculum that I like to use and all of the magical things about it. Thanks.